I'm Nathan Erznosnik here with the Grace Company. I'm excited to be with you again today. We're here in front of the Q-Zone hoop frame. I'm looking to answer another question, and so again I've been trying to answer questions that come up frequently. Today what I would like to look at is a little bit on some of the component and the pieces, and so I want to talk about and show you how they're used. And so that's what we're going to go through. So again, I'm glad you're with us. Feel free to come back and hopefully you'll see several other videos. I encourage you to watch those. If you're either considering the Q-Zone hoop frame or if you've thought about it, you might also have one. Right now we're going to go through some of those different parts and pieces. We're going to start off with, and I'm kind of just going to quickly recapture where we're at. The machine is on the frame. You'll notice that it can be moved around, and right now I'm going to place and just take a general quilt and kind of put it on here. Again, this isn't to show you how to load your fabric. This is really just talking about some of the different parts and the pieces. First off, I'm going to pull one of these front quilt clips off. I like to recommend when you're taking these off that you just take two hands, not necessarily one. What I find is when somebody uses one, they grab around it, which actually pinches it tighter. So if you just take two hands, you're going to come to the one side, and I'm just going to kind of pull this off. And I'm pulling this off because I want you to see if you can get in here and look at this a little bit. The shape of this is definitely unique and it's different. And it's really interesting. It has all these bumps. And what I love to show people when they look at that is to show them the ridges. And then I also like it to look and say, hey, do you see how there's a square rail? And people say, well, that's kind of odd. You have a frame with a square rail. Well, what happens is that these ridges, when I clip that over the rail, create like a ratchet. And this is actually how we create tension on the fabric rails that the quilt sits over. So I'm going to quickly pull those back off here. We got the two. I also wanted to talk a little bit about them being very durable. Some people wonder, are they going to break, or how long will they last for? They're meant to last for the total life of the frame. They're polycarbonate, so they're the same thing safety glasses are made out of. Very strong, very durable. But I'm going to quickly just take those off. I'm going to take the same side clamps off. You'll notice that they're actually the same shape. So if you look at these, they're the same shape. They're just a little bit shorter. So they're just a little bit shorter in length because they're for the sides. I'm going to kind of set those right here for just a minute. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to take and we're going to show you how these are used as well. But what I'm going to do is take them off right now. These are easy. We can just lift up. I like to twist them a little bit to release those. And I'm going to take in our fabric, our quilt. I'm just going to drape our quilt over this surface. What we do on this type of a frame is we're not rolling the fabric around. The fabric actually goes underneath and sits on top of the frame as a whole. And I'm going to show you two things. One is I'm going to pretend like we're farther down here because people also want to know what happens when we have all this extra quilt. So I'm just going to quickly put this up here. I'm going to take these clamps. We're going to clip them on. All we do is we just put downward pressure to clip them on. Again, we're going to take this, clip it on. We're going to go ahead and take this one as well. These ridges do go to the front. You'll notice that there is a unique shape. The smooth part is towards the back. And I'll just quickly show you. It makes a lot of sense, but the reason we actually have those is so that these clips can grab onto those edges. So I'm going to now roll this fabric up. So again, I can kind of show you part of the purpose. And as you get more and more through your quilt, this actually will get a little bit larger. But I'm just going to reach behind there and I'm going to grab this bungee clip. And that goes right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit of pressure out of that there so we can hold that in place. What this does is keeps the fabric from flopping down into the throat of the machine. So I'm going to take these two front clips right here and we're going to just place those over the fabric. Some people like to kind of pull and they can kind of fluff your quilt, which is fine. And a lot of people, again, when they put these on, they try to pinch them. We don't need to do that. We're simply going to put this, and I like to talk about using open hands or our palms. And I'm just going to put downward pressure, and that'll snap them on. We'll do the same thing again. I'll just do that again. I just like to open my palms, put a little bit of pressure down. That's now engaged the ratchets onto the frame. And now what I'm going to do is add a little tension. And what I'm going to do, or how I'm going to do that, is I'm going to put my fingers on this inside edge, and I'm just going to rotate them a little bit. And you'll notice as I rotate those, that actually creates a little bit more tension across the surface of the fabric. We'll clamp one of the end clamps. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have us come and look here on the side. We're going to take the clamp, we're going to now put this one on the side, but because there's no fabric, I'm going to come and sit back down here. We're going to take the bungee clamps and we're going to take one off of the side. So the frame does come with bungee clamps. And how this works is it's pretty easy. We just actually slide this over the end, and that slides them on. So we're going to take the two of those, slide them on, and then we can go ahead and add the side tension. So now that's pretty much it. And so what I wanted to show you again are a couple things. The clamps, how those interact with the square rails, which is incredibly important in order to keep your fabric from moving. Not as much if you're free motion, but what happens if you want to add automation or the computer automation. Those are critical things. This frame and selected machines, you can also add the computer automated system to them as well. So we want to make sure that that fabric is held in place. Again, the ones in the throat of the machine have these extra special little locking mechanisms so that we can put the bungee clamps, and again, keeping that fabric from falling into the throat of the machine. So those are some really critical items that really help define why this frame is unique in the industry. It's important to hold the fabric in place. It is easy to get the fabric on, just as easy to move it. We'll look at other videos that walk through how we would move or shift the fabric as well. Right now, again, I wanted to talk about some of these key functions: square rails, quilt clips, the bungees, and the fabric management parts as a whole. We look forward to sharing more details and more information with the frame with you in future videos. So if you have any questions, feel free always to call our 800 number, 1-800-264-0644. So that's our Grace Company customer service line. Again, 1-800-264-0644. We can answer any questions, help you out with any potential things that you might be in need of. If you're looking to pick it up, find it at a local dealer or give us a call.